The same starting five for all of their team's playoff games from Minnesota and from OKC. And that means two things. Things are going well, and everybody's healthy. So they're set to go here to begin the third round of the NBA playoffs. And each round, Richard, the adrenaline just has to keep increasing as you get ready for game one of a conference final.
The adrenaline just keeps pumping. The first game in these types of moments, the first 5 minutes, you're just trying to keep your emotions down. You're trying to calm yourself, which is a lot easier said than done.
And this crowd is certainly ready. Boy, did they go nuts the other night in the Game 7 victory against Denver. Afterwards, such a hard-fought series. Minnesota, they're just so psyched up to get back on the court as they wrapped up their series with Golden State last Wednesday. And both these teams have been playing some great basketball. The Timberwolves 8-2 in the playoffs as McDaniels knocks down the first shot of this series. They're 4-1 on the road in these playoffs, the Timberwolves.
That's a great sign for Jaden McDaniels, who has absorbed more offensive responsibility, and when his jumpers go in, his game elevates to another place.
Jalen Williams dribbles it off his foot. He thought it was off Edwards' foot. It's a turnover. And speaking of turnovers, we say this every game that Oklahoma City plays for their opponent. Turnovers and limiting them is the key to victory.
Well, that is the key. Both teams know how to turn over their opponent. As you see, Jaden McDaniels getting going early. The thing that I'm looking for is last year when the Timberwolves came into the conference finals, they were coming off a Game 7. They were a little exhausted, a little beat up, and they were playing catch up. Let's see if they can get out in front of this OKC team.
And they lost the first two games at home against the Mavericks last year. Gilgeous-Alexander, a rare air ball. The Thunder admitted they were nervous to start Game 7. They fell behind by 11 and then wound up with a dominant blowout win. Edwards against Holmgren, step back three, got it. What a start. 3 for 3 and an 8-0 lead. Doris, they had to be crazy just to play again at this time of year, to go almost a week without playing.
No doubt, Mike. And what you like the most is how professional their start to this basketball. This is a business-like approach. They've been in this position before. They were disappointed with the results. And this is a matchup you want. If Anthony Edwards isn't being guarded by Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren's in front of him, he's saying that's a win for me.
Chris Finch in his 5th year as head coach. Mark Daigneault, his 5th year as head coach. Both teams excellent coaching strategies as the first free throw off the mark. And Finch knows it has not been an easy regular season. Turbulent at times, up and down, new faces, injuries. There was a time during the course of the season they wondered if they could make the play-in, and here they are in the conference final.
Well, people don't understand, when you have a massive trade, Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo coming in, and you're coming off a conference finals, it takes time for your team to gel, and boy, are they gelling at the right time.
Nice entry pass, Gobert. Hesitated, almost knocked away, gets it back again, gets his own rebound. Nope, and a loose ball foul called on Gobert. So Rudy Gobert has 2 fouls, and we haven't even played 2 minutes.
And this is also where you see the depth of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here comes Naz Reid into the game. Last year's 6th man of the year. And so that's the depth that the Minnesota Timberwolves have. And look, he just swarming inside the paint. That's what forces the foul. That's what forces him his hesitation.
There's some good old-fashioned big men in this series. Those three battling. So Naz Reid, one of the best 6 men in the NBA, gets an early call. Gilgeous-Alexander trying to draw some contact, can't get it to fall. Fight for the rebound, McDaniels.
Floor spacing changes immediately. Naz is going to be on the perimeter. Rudy would be at the rim.
Give and go, Edwards and McDaniels. Nice defense from Holmgren. Edwards spins, falls down. Dort had it. And SGA comes the other way. Goes right at McDaniels, gets inside, double team, finds Hartenstein. I think they just got called for a delay of game warning after that. As Jimmy Capers signaling. Of course, that means nothing now, but a second delay of game warning is a technical foul. Julius Randle, who's been playing some of the best basketball of his career. Out there with Conley, some excellent veterans. Conley inside, kicks it out McDaniels, back to Randle. Randle hesitated on the first three, comes up short. Here comes Williams. They'll run and run and run. Gilgeous-Alexander defended by Conley, and a foul. Conley picks up his first. 3 team fouls early.
And I love that early push. That early push there by Williams, that allows the defense to flatten out. Now you throw it back out to Shea. The defense is flat. It makes it easier for Shea to attack.
They're so much of a better basketball team if they're playing off misses or turnovers. Minnesota's entire goal is make them a half-court execution team.
Jalen Williams, a great game 7 the other afternoon. Can't get that one to go. Naz Reid comes out of the pack. Randle bumped by Dort, and there's the foul. Dort will pick up his personal.
So one of the things you think about is, carelessness. Julius is sprinting up to the dead corner. He's not looking at the basketball. Naz is more than capable of holding that dribble and allowing Julius to run.
Well, Cason Wallace comes in just over 3 minutes in. Chet Holmgren will sit down. Oklahoma City, a lot of versatility in their roster. Can play big, can play small. Edwards' jump shot is good. And Edwards has knocked down his first 2.
And one of the reasons why you go small is because with Naz Reid, he spaces the floor. It's different than Rudy Gobert. That's going to be a big impact on Chet Holmgren's playing time.
Beautiful drive from SGA. Couldn't finish. Edwards comes out of the pack. Cason Wallace, a great young defender. Edwards having problems. Now backs in and stolen by Williams. Jalen Williams open floor, gets the bump. Layup blocked by Edwards. And Reid comes the other way. Conley, the hesitation, floats it up, misses that one. Fight for the rebound. Randle had it, lost it, and it's Oklahoma City ball.
So you can't play with a back down dribble because there's always help lurking. But how about the recovery? You're not giving up an easy 2 in a conference final.
Gilgeous-Alexander this time draws the foul. T-Wolves upset that they thought that last possession was off OKC.
And look at this block. This is what we're talking about. Anthony Edwards, he is a two-way player. You look at his scoring, you see his dunks. What people don't give enough attention to is his defensive intensity.
We got a technical foul called. I think it's Anthony Edwards. Well, Gilgeous-Alexander knocks down the first.
Do we got a little chippiness in the first quarter?
Through the ball. That's unsportsmanlike technical. He led the NBA in technical fouls during the regular season with 17. That's his first technical foul of the playoffs. It's something he's talked about, that he has to stop complaining to the refs. He's done a great job so far, but picks up one here early.
He's talked about his own lack of maturity. You talk about a guy who's willing to look at himself when he's doing things to the detriment of his team. It's Anthony Edwards. But to me, Richard, the growth, his decision-making, clutch game performances down the stress under duress of game-conditioned clock, he feels like he's taken another step.
Minnesota 4-point lead, but they already have 4 team fouls. Conley back to McDaniels. Randle drives on Hartenstein. Teammates last year in New York. Leans in. Wild shot. Doesn't get the bounce. Hartenstein with a rebound. SGA trying to draw a foul and gets one. Randle. That'll be his first. And more free throws for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is one of the reasons why he is the leading scorer in the NBA, his ability to draw contact and get to the free throw line.
Well, he forces you to be disciplined. He forces you to be disciplined. When you put that hand in there, he's going to get it. Right now, we've seen 3 early plays there by Minnesota. That means that you need a little bit more discipline. Putting your hand in the cookie jar and then throwing the ball at Shai and getting it technical.
This is the first. That's his second miss. Michelob Ultra Zero, bringing fans chances to win prizes throughout the NBA playoffs. Scan for your chance to win. He's a great free throw shooter. 5 of 7. So he's taken 7 free throws already in 4.5 minutes.
It's a reason NBA Twitter likes to call him the free throw merchant, Mike.
Julius Randle given some space and knocks down the 3. Randle playing against some of the best team basketball. The previous series averaged 25 points, 7.5 assists. Beautiful spin move and a little English. SGA with a sweet play. He has 7 of their 9 points. The Randle-Jalen Williams matchup will be fun. Hartenstein knocks it away on the double team. Wallace, alley-up to Hartenstein. Defense to offense, OKC style.
And you saw this against Jokic in the last round. They force him to low assist, high turnovers. If you're turning your back against them, it is very, very difficult.
McDaniels. Randle gets a good look from the corner, and that's another 3 for Julius Randle.
Boy, his three-point shot is going. That's usually trouble. But you're right, Richard. If you're at the nail, you're middle of the floor, and you're turning your back, that is lights out against Oklahoma City.
Lou Dort, nobody near him, plenty of time, but comes up short. And Conley fouled by Hartenstein.
So
And a timeout.
So this is what we're talking about. They are hunting this kind of play. You're at the nail, everybody's in shrink, and this is the kiss of death against Oklahoma City. How about the catch? Looking like Richard Jefferson at the rim. My goodness.
Let's take a look at tonight's Star Watch, brought to you by PayPal.
Hey, yo! I said I can't play with you. I can't be on the court at the same time as you. Because I don't make the shots in the basket. When they dump down too, when they come in, you have kick out corner. Yeah. They're not pre-rotating. They're staying at the wing. Yeah. But you're fine. Go. Come here, Bob! Come here, Bob!
Dante DiVincenzo came with Julius Randle, and that shocking trade the day before camp opened for Karl Anthony Towns, and it took a while for it to work. But boy, as it worked out, Tim Connolly, president of basketball operations, has made some risky deals that have turned out to be just fantastic for Minnesota. He didn't think they were risky. Randle gets inside, back out DiVincenzo, fires away, three-pointer won't go. Naz Reid with 2 hands, but can't get the follow. Battle for the boards, McDaniels comes away with it. Wallace takes it right away.
While it didn't work out there, Mike, you're starting to see the Minnesota size. When Hartenstein is away from the rim, those bigs from Minnesota can eat.
Lethal from mid-range.
Boy, this guy, he's drawn 4 fouls by himself, and he is starting to cook offensively.
DiVincenzo thought he got hit there. T-Wolves bench not happy. SGA drives, hands it off to Dort. Jalen Williams, the other Thunder All-Star this year, drives inside, whistle and a foul.
The Thunder defense just swarming. Even if you get the rebound, they continue to swarm you. And then just getting out in transition. Look, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he is one of the most difficult guys to guard. He gets to his spots, he knocks it down, and when he's at 15, it is automatic, Doris.
Edwards picks up his first foul. Jalen Williams, 24.7 assists in Game 7 the other day, bouncing back from a real tough Game 6 loss in Denver. That he didn't sleep the night before. For all these Thunder players, Doris, this is a first experience for them. They've got pressure now to win. They had this season where there wasn't a lot of adversity. All of a sudden they face it. The expectations are soaring for this team, and it's a part of learning the playoff process.
I love the young man at the free throw line's character to say openly, I cost us Game 6 because of my shooting, and the resolve to come back and make the same shots in Game 7. Listen, this is part of the process for one of the youngest teams in the league.
Edwards looking for the screen. Wallace runs over it. McDaniels left open, now drives, lost the handle, picked up by Williams. Again in the open floor. They call that a dunk here at OKC, and the Thunder have their first lead. Jay Williams, better known as J-Dub, puts them up 17-16. Randle gets inside. McDaniels, quick pass. DiVincenzo up top. Naz Reid hoisted up. Holmgren the rebound. Minnesota has 6 turnovers already.
Well, it's relentless pressure, and it's a group of individuals who pride themselves on making their opponent uncomfortable. You present the ball in front of this team, and I promise you that length and the speed of their hands turns into 2 points on the other end.
4.5 remaining. Jay Williams will now sit down. The Thunder send defenders at you in waves. Isaiah Joe, the latest to get off the bench. Alexander Walker in for the first time. Holmgren fakes the 3. Drives across, kicks it out. Wallace, his corner 3. And a rebound, McDaniels. Edwards guarded by Cason Wallace. Edwards, hand in his face, jumper won't go. Rebound Joe. Back up top, SGA. McDaniels can guard 1 through 5, one of the most versatile defenders in the entire league. Good screen set by Wallace. Shot clock at 4 though. Shot clock at 2, fires up a 3. And McDaniels snatches the rebound.
And you see that wall from the Minnesota Timberwolves. When that's down to the last 5 seconds, it is boxes and elbows around Shea.
Naz Reid kicks it out in the corner. DiVincenzo fires away, hits the 3.
And you're going to have to make those, Mike, because the priority for Oklahoma City is pack the paint. They think they're good enough to do both pack the paint and sprint out, but you've got to make those shots.
Holmgren gets inside, knocked out of his hands, and he touched it last. Good double team that time for Minnesota. These 2 teams in the playoffs are number 1 and number 2 in defensive rating in the postseason. You talk about Oklahoma City and their great defense, but Minnesota's defense has been superb as Jalen Clark will come in, the rookie from UCLA. They're going to review that last play. By the way, Clark, he's played 6 minutes in 2 games, but he played well against the Thunder during the regular season. We'll take a timeout on the challenge. Conference final tomorrow night right here on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Stars host the Oilers at 8 Eastern. Coverage drops with the point at 7:30. Unsuccessful challenge by OKC. They were thinking they'd get a proximate foul. That didn't happen. And inconclusive to overturn it. It was so close. We watched it about 7 or 8 times during the commercial, and still hard to figure out if it actually touched Reed. Just goes to show you the officials, they had to call it in real time. That's just so tough. All officials will tell you the hardest call for them right now in the NBA are the out-of-bounds calls.
Right, Mike, but if you're Oklahoma City, you challenge an out-of-bounds play early and don't have one the rest of the way.
So Jalen Clark has a long 3-pointer from Alexander Walker. Clark getting the minutes because he played so well against SGA during the regular season, or as well as you can play. That might be the MVP. Holmgren drives on Reed, and the running shot banker in and out. And Edwards grabs the rebound. Edwards is averaging 8 rebounds a game as DiVincenzo pulls back. Naz Reid, that effortless 3-pointer, won't go down. Minnesota 5 for 10 from 3. OKC is 0 for 4. Holmgren goes to the basket, and that's going to be a foul on Reed. Didn't give Holmgren a place to land.
You talk about one of the most elite scoring teams in the league, and it's 19-17 with 2 minutes to go. And you see just a little late, Naz Reid just not there on the catch. Easy foul call, and that is 8 personal fouls already on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And right now, the T-Wolves have not taken a free throw. This will be number 10 and 11 for OKC. Of course, Gilgeous-Alexander getting to the line quite a bit. That's one of the reasons why Clark is in there. Clark was a 2nd-round pick in 2023 after 3 years at UCLA. He was the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, but then last year as a rookie, he ruptured his Achilles, didn't play at all. This year, his rookie season, he played 40 games, started 4 times, so didn't get a lot of time. but obviously has the trust of their coach.
Well, there was a game earlier this year where 26 half-court matchups against Shea. He not only held up well, he made it very difficult on him. So you give him a look here, Richard, if you're Chris Finch.
Oh, DB, if you have your coach's confidence to come in the Western Conference Finals and play right away, that is a lot of confidence.
Defensive 3 seconds. Again, he's only played 6 minutes so far in the playoffs prior to this game 1. But he's got a lot of confidence on the defensive end. Was 4th in the nation in steals his last year at UCLA. And Edwards hits the one-shot technical. Minnesota back up by 3. Kenrich Williams will come in. Holmgren goes back to the bench. OKC shooting just 36% from the field. Minnesota just 41%. What's kept it close is all the free throws for OKC and all the threes for Minnesota. Edwards got whacked in the face there. Alexander Walker off the dribble. Shot won't go. And a loose ball foul will go against the Thunder. Edwards telling Jimmy Capers he got hit in the face. He obviously has to be careful now. He has the 1 technical. The second one would be automatic ejection.
Well, and one of the things, Mike, is the teams know the free throw disparity. Right now, it is 11 free throws to 1, and the one that Minnesota shot was a technical 2 seconds ago.
DiVincenzo, the runner off the glass, too strong. Clark comes up with a rebound. A 24-second violation. So you're saying at the end of the first quarter when they're handed the stat sheet, they're like, oh, we haven't taken a free throw yet. They're very well aware.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go to the officials and say, we haven't shot any free throws. Anthony Edwards is not getting fouled. Julius Randle's not getting fouled. That's the argument that the officials are going to hear at the end of the quarter.
Well, they've been hearing it here during the quarter, that's for sure. Isaiah Joe rattles that one in. They got so many different guys that can knock down threes and defend the heck out of you. And they tied it up at 20. That's their first 3-pointer. Final minute here in what's been a long opening period. Alexander Walker, that one halfway down. Clark on the follow, banks it in.
Well, their offensive rebounding is starting to take a toll against Oklahoma City. And think about it, you are so downsized. No Chet, no Isaiah on the floor, so it's got to be team rebounding if you're OKC.
Clark not out there for offense. Got that one to go. Outlet pass deflected, but DiVincenzo able to hold it on. Edwards so far, his first 2 shots, 6 points. Drives inside, won't go, but a foul. Caruso tried to draw the charge. And right now, Edwards a little shaken up after he came down. He's had some ankle issues earlier in the playoffs.
Ooh, that's a tough one to start this game. A nice little roll of the ankle, but we know Anthony Edwards is one of the toughest players in this league. But that one's going to feel not so good tomorrow, Mike.
It happened twice. Here's the first one when he comes down, and then when he falls to the floor, knocks down the free throw. His teammates keep saying, though, that he has a bionic ankle. He's had games where you think he's going to be out for weeks. He goes back to the locker room, gets retaped, and he comes back in the game.
Well, that's what happens when you're young, Mike. You can literally cut yourself and watch it heal in real time. That's what it's like to be young and be Anthony Edwards.
1 for 2 from the line. Shot clock turned off. Minnesota's been in the penalty for a long time here in the first, so no fouls to give. 5 seconds to go. McDaniels on SGA, pulls back, 2-point jump shot, short, and that will end the first quarter. A little sloppy for Minnesota with turnovers, but the rebounding and 3-pointers helped out. After 1, here in game 1, 3-point lead for the T-Wolves.
Back to the Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T. Julius, you guys got off to a good start, then had some turnovers. What did you guys say to each other about cleaning all that up?
I mean, we know that's the type of team they are. We don't turn the ball over. You know, we get a good possession down every time, just play solid basketball. We'll be in good shape. So We had a stretch there where we just, turned it over too much. And it's going to happen, but it's how we bounce back. Got to be mentally strong to play through it. And I think we settled in as the quarter went on and, finished it strong.
Thank you for your time, Julius.
It's such a big part of the series, right? Because 17 of the 20 turnovers in that first quarter were off turnovers. When they made them a half-court execution team, they forced tough shots and tons of misses. There's another one in the half court.
DiVincenzo, Conley, Rudy Gobert back in with Randall and Alexander Walker. Back up top, Conley. Nearly taken away by Wallace. Boy, Wallace is fun to watch defend. Randall drives inside. Hartenstein right there, but a foul. And Julius Randall to the free throw line. Randall 6 early points in this one.
And it's tough. If you're a big, we saw it with Jokic. Yes, he was dominant, but when you're having to drive and make plays against smaller players from the top of the key, that's difficult. And yes, there was a foul there, but you see the crowd in which you have to play in.
Randall in the Game 5 clincher against Golden State last Wednesday, 29 points, 13 for 18. Game 4 at Golden State, 31 points. He has found a great place, both mentally and where he fits on this team in terms of team basketball. And here's a guy that made All-NBA twice with the Knicks. He's probably playing his best overall team basketball of his career.
He's showing exactly why they made the trade. Because in losing in the Western Conference Finals against Dallas, they didn't think they had enough scoring and playmaking beside Ant. And this is what Julius does.
Wiggins lost it up. That won't go. Wallace the rebound. Back to Wiggins. Blocked, but a foul. Or he stepped out of bounds. So it's going to be Minnesota ball. So Caruso, Hartenstein, Wallace, Jalen Williams, and Alex Caruso out there with Wiggins. Conley throws it up. Shot won't go. Good defense from Conley. Wallace gets away from him. But Gobert right there. DiVincenzo with a steal. Now Gobert trying a little Euro step, kicks it back out. DiVincenzo, three-pointer, off the mark. Alexander Walker deflects it out of bounds. Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the two cousins playing against each other here in the conference final. Shai's dad and Nickeil's mom are siblings. They grew up together in Toronto, went to high school together as well. Williams inside, Hartenstein flips it up and rattles it in. What a cool moment for the family.
Is it though? It's a little bit of stress. You think the parents have a side bet? You think the parents have a side bet?
No, they're not betting on this.
100%.
Oh, no.
If my brother's kid played in this, I 100% have a side bet.
Alexander Walker misses. Jay said, he goes, I love my cousin, he's like a brother, but I want to take his head off in this series. Williams on the drive. Hartenstein with the stuff.
And that, to me, is Jalen Williams at his best. His downhill driving, getting shots for his teammates. Might be a kick or it might be a lob.
DiVincenzo finds a little room. Can't connect that time. Caruso with the save.
Jalen Williams. J-Dub, not J-Will.
Hartenstein, along with Caruso, the two big acquisitions. Nice defense from Alexander Walker. And a turnover, OKC. That one again, in and out. T-Wolves have had about 3 or 4 of those. Looked like they were going to go down. Conley fights over a screen. Wiggins with Gobert right there. Ball tipped and taken by Randall. Randall fouled by Caruso to stop the fast break. As Caruso picks up his first.
Yeah, Jay Will in that open court, just making plays, and that's tough when you get behind the defense, and Minnesota's very good at not letting you get there, but that lob, Rudy Gobert is just in a tough spot right there.
The lob threats with Hartenstein and Holmgren, such a potent part of the OKC offense. DiVincenzo kicks it out. Good swarming defense here. Randle, three-pointer, he's good. Julius Randle, 3 for 4 from long distance. Good defense from Conley. Offensive foul. Hartenstein moves. Conley trying to fight over, force that turnover.
Let's watch a little ball movement from Minnesota. It's about playing simple basketball. Pick and roll on one side. Now it goes to that side of the floor. Little ball reversal. He's shot ready and a little smile on his way back. Told us before the game he's having a lot of fun on this basketball team.
Caruso guarding Randle. Caruso's been guarding a lot of big guys lately. Job he did on Jokic in Game 7. And an offensive foul called on Randle. Boy, the Timberwolves upset. It didn't seem like there was a lot of contact. Caruso was in great position.
He was in great position, but to your point though, Mike, he's happy to see Julius Randle after having to guard Jokic so much, but he knows he's up for the task. So when you're going against Randle, you understand you've handled Jokic, you gotta be able to handle Randle.
Hard to tell if he extended the arm on that. Hartenstein, rarely off the dribble. Gobert with the block. Back out Caruso, he'll try a three. That's good. Game tied again, just the second three-pointer for OKC. DiVincenzo, Alexander Walker. Ball tipped all the way out to Randle. Randle's going to try another three. Puts it in. Julius Randle, his fourth three-pointer already. 13 points for Randle. Continues his spectacular postseason play.
And still no Anthony Edwards on the bench as Hartenstein knocks down his little patented left-hand floater. Still no Anthony Edwards on the bench. He is not back from the tunnel yet.
Jalen Williams tried to save it. By the way, Hartenstein is their leading scorer. He's got 10 points on 5 of 6 from the field, floaters and dunks.
Yeah, his floater is so good, Mike. But, you know, if you're Minnesota, you've seen this before. Julius has been able to sustain your offense early in basketball games when Anthony's been out in the playoffs.
DiVincenzo whips a pass. Alexander Walker connects on a three. That's 8 three-pointers now for Minnesota. Mark Daigneault wants timeout. And the Timberwolves back up by 4 with their star player back in the locker room.
Just tell Siri, show me the playoff basketball schedule.
Time for tonight's chill performance, brought to you by Coors Light.
Julius Randle, the all-NBA power forward. Look, off the dribble, you go under the screen, he got you. You leave him open in the corner three, knocks it down, no problem. Here, same thing, ball rotation. What does he do? He catches it, looks, deep three. He is doing it from all over the floor. Off of a loose ball, steps into the three. He is the leading scorer in this game with 13.
He's smiling because of his play, and he's smiling because Anthony Edwards is back on the floor. Edwards, when he came out, you knew things were good. He wasn't limping anymore, and he had a big smile on his face. Keep a close eye on, see if there's any difference. DiVincenzo almost poked another one away. Oh, Wiggins, beautiful drive and finish. Wiggins, one of those whatever you need on any given night type of player for Mark Daigneault. Randle guarded by Lou Dort. Alexander Walker can't get it. Gobert deflects it out of bounds. And last touch. And this was Edwards. I'd say he looks pretty good there.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. Look, that's a long walk too, so you get a chance to run it out. But look, those are the things from Ant. That inspires your team. They know you rolled your ankle, but you're going to show up and you're going to give it all.
DiVincenzo whips the pass. Alexander Walker off the bounce. Kicks it out in the corner. Randle. Nice fake on Dort. Goes inside. And a 24-second violation.
So what's the defensive switch? With Julius Randle, as you say, the leading scorer, they've now switched the matchup. I know Anth was off the floor, but that time he's on. Cason Wallace was checking him. Lou Dort, the old defensive player, took the Julius assignment. Does that stay?
Gilgeous-Alexander jump shot misses. Gobert the rebound. Wallace back on Edwards. Randall, huge height advantage and weight advantage on Wiggins. Beautiful turnaround shot. He's got 15 points.
Mike, he leverages the strength that he has in his upper body as well as any player in the league.
Lob it in, Holmgren couldn't quite get it. Gobert picks up the errant pass. DiVincenzo, quick catch inside Gobert. A little pirouette, a little awkward. Wiggins brings it back out. Dort giving some room for a three. How about Wiggins poking it away from Gobert? Holmgren gets it, gets inside, and misses.
That's what you get when you get the defensive player of the year. Yeah, he might miss a wide open layup, but he's also going to block shots. And okay, Julius Randle.
Randle's got it cooking right now. Julius Randle, 18 of the 38 points. He's 5 of 6 from three-point range. Gilgeous-Alexander, left-handed, can't get it. Fight for the rebound. Randle comes out of the pack. DiVincenzo stops, fires, can't get it. Gobert the rebound. Surrounded, and a held ball.
Julius Randle, the prior score was a baseline jumper, but he is leveraging into this 3 points. And his coach talked about playing in straight lines. Well, you're just walking into 3-point shots right now if you're him. And you got to make him a little more comfortable. I know he's a driver, but you can't short close on a guy who's killing you from 3 like that.
He had his arms open when he crossed half court. Give me the ball, give me the ball.
Oh, the heat check is coming. He hasn't shot a heat check yet.
So he's going to get a break right now. Naz Reid and McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels will check in. 4.5 remaining here in the first half. Edwards the spin. Wallace stays with him. Gets inside. Bank shot. Way off. Hartenstein tips it. Alexander Walker has to throw it up. Can't get it to fall. Hartenstein this time holds on. Outlet Dort. One man to beat. It's Reid. And he kicks it back out. Holmgren goes at Gobert. Stops, turns, shot, got it.
For Chet Holmgren, in my opinion, just slow down a little bit. He's so tall, so gifted, so skilled. You can actually be a little bit more deliberate with where you finish.
Reid, nice pass, setting up Rudy Gobert. Gobert with his first field goal. Gilgeous-Alexander. Wallace left open, knocks down a 3. He's a defensive demon, and his offensive game growing, just his second year in the league. Reid again. Hartenstein tracks it down. Boy, McDaniels really making it tough. And off Gilgeous-Alexander. And a timeout call by Minnesota.
Jaden McDaniels is 6'10". He is long, he can get down in a stance, and he's guarding a guy who's got get-by ability and a great handle. But look at his willingness to push up into pressure and force a turnover. Ooh, that might have been off his foot.
Time for tonight's playoff schedule, brought to you by Bacardi Rums. TNT on Wednesday, Game 1, Eastern Conference Final. Knicks hosting the Pacers. And then we'll be here for Game 2 of this series in Oklahoma City on Thursday. There's your leading scorers. Julius Randle, 5 of 6. And Isaiah Hartenstein getting a lot of those lobs. Randle getting a break right now. Outstanding first half. Caruso now guarding Edwards. Edwards just 7 points. Obviously was in the back for a while. Gilgeous-Alexander just 9 points. Edwards fires away. Another one in and out. Gilgeous-Alexander out to Jalen Williams. Under 3 to play, second quarter. Boy, McDaniels, another guy. He is fun to watch play defense. Just seems like he's everywhere. Contested shot way off with Gilgeous-Alexander.
Mike, they are doing an absolutely sensational job on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They stopped fouling him first and foremost. But look at Rudy Gobert in help and ready to challenge off the dribble drive. Just listen, they had clean switches out front. You have to be aware of where he is. He's your main offense in a half-court set, and they are doing a terrific job.
Randall right back in. Holmgren wanted to check back in as Gobert sits down. Mike Conley, the veteran. He's been a big inspiration for these T-Wolves. They keep talking about win one for Mike.
Yeah, Oklahoma City in that zone.
Conley whips a pass. Randall fakes. Now drives, gets inside, trying to draw a foul, and he does.
And Julius Randle, look, he does it from everywhere, and that's the versatility. Yes, they made that trade for Karl Anthony Towns, but what he's able to do with the playmaking and the rebounding, they are both great players, but different. And the way that Julius Randle impacts this game helps the Timberwolves so much.
Let's bring in Lisa Salters.
Hey, Mike, Julius said it this morning, shoot around, that getting this far for the first time in his career has given him such an appreciation for teams like the Warriors, so much so that he said he told Draymond Green after they closed out Golden State about how much respect he has for them for grinding like this, getting this deep in the playoffs consistently. He said some guys are already on their second vacations or getting ready to start training for next season, and being a part of the Final Four, Randall said, you're still working. It is a grind. He said he just thought about the Warriors doing it year after year and just had to tip his hat.
And last year, Lisa, he missed the playoffs with that shoulder injury as Dort goes backdoor and throws it down. Nice pass from Holmgren, and it's back to a 4-point game.
Wolves went to a zone themselves. That baseline attack is exactly how they beat the Denver zone.
We've seen a bunch of zone in the playoffs so far. Edwards fires away and knocks down the three-pointer, his second three. He's got 10. Gilgeous-Alexander drives, spins, Caruso, Williams. Dort off the bounce. Caruso stolen by Randall. Finds Naz Reid. Timberwolves have been so good on the road in these playoffs. And doing it here in game one. Naz Reid, though, lost the handle. Chasing Williams takes advantage. Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to fall. Edwards, sidestep, swatted by Dort, but a foul before the block attempt. And Edwards will shoot two with 1:14 left in the half.
The leading scorer in the league is still struggling against this Minnesota defense. He feels that body of Julius Randle, not able to finish. He is 2 for 12 in this first half with a minute to go.
I like the non-call. There's no foul there. Mike Conley wisely backs up. He saw him off balance. And they are just ever aware of where he is.
Yeah, this is a Minnesota team that started roughly 8-10 their first 18 games. A little past the halfway mark of the season, they were 22-21. But what a finish they had. 17-4 in the regular season. They're 8-2 in the playoffs. And this is a team last year and this year, they have now won 6 playoff series. And this is their largest lead, a 9-point advantage. Ball swatted by McDaniels. Conley launches. That won't go. Isaiah Joe the rebound. Whistle and a foul. Halftime presented by Hyundai. And they're here in the building with us. Ready.
Yeah. They got Big Perk, the plug in the building. But look at Jaden McDaniels. You saw all the reaching done early. For every steal you get, you're going to give up 6 free throws to him. You just have to play it up top and show your hands.
Gilgeous-Alexander falls down. Edwards right with him. Boy, a crowd upset. Edwards made it a little difficult for him to get up. And now gets the foul called. Edwards' second personal.
Yeah, we talk about all the defenders that Oklahoma City has appropriately. There's a little bit of contact there, but it's this right here, the extra, that finally got the foul call on him. But he's giving it him to him the entire time. But Anthony Edwards may be the best matchup for Shea on the team because of his physical strength and ability to influence Shea with that, but you're not going to make him guard the full 48.
It was Alexander knocking down the first free throw.
What we were going to talk about in that moment right there is you think about how many great players, the best offensive players, are also your best defensive players. That right there is really the beacon for why Minnesota is so great defensively, because their best player takes the challenge whenever ready.
Knocks down both. 11 points, but OKC with 40 points here in the first half. We've raved about the Thunder defense, and deservedly so, but the Minnesota defense has been sensational here in the first half. Edwards tried to slam and drew the foul as Edwards and Lou Dort look at each other and jaw a bit. Dort, one of the outstanding defenders.
Come on now, Mike. Watch how fast this happens. He turns the corner and is off his feet in a split second. And you have no choice but to foul or you're going to get dumped on.
Those are two strong dudes right there going at each other.
I'm gonna be really honest, DB. In that moment, you just go for the arm. You just go for the arm. You're not gonna get the ball. You miss the ball because he brings it so far back. You just make sure that you don't give up an and one in that. Great playoff foul there by Lou Dort.
This is the second Holmgren runs down the rebound. Edwards harassing him.
Are they getting Jaden McDaniels pushing up in pressure there?
No, I think the clock didn't.
Yeah.
Clock malfunction. Gilgeous-Alexander racing up the floor. Fires inside Williams. Couple of fakes and banks it home. Shot clock turned off. No fouls to give here for OKC. Randall holding. Randall's been the starter. First half knocked away by Williams. He's got plenty of time. Goes inside. Layup. Missed it. Isaiah Joe misses it, but a foul. With 1.7 remaining.
We keep talking about it. In that game 7 versus Denver, 7 players on Denver had 2 or more turnovers. They put pressure on everybody, not just the best players. And we talked about it already, DB. If you turn your back versus this team, if we know it, they better figure it out quick.
3 fouls on Randall. That's the 11th turnover for Minnesota. They had 7 of them in the first quarter. Isaiah Joe, good hustle to follow up the miss from Jalen Williams. Two of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Even at low scoring here in game 1. Back to 4. Time to get off the shot. Edwards hoisted 3/4 court. And that will end the first half. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just 2 of 13. Julius Randle 20 points in the first half. A slugfest here in the opening 2 quarters of this Western Conference final. Anthony Edwards had the ankle turn. We're back to the locker room. Return. Got some big buckets. These 2 teams fighting for a right to go to the NBA Finals. Julius Randle continues his hot play on the road. Halftime here in game 1. It's the Timberwolves with a 4-point advantage.
The NBA Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T are brought to you by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA, and Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps, only in theaters July 25th.
The Fantastic Four: Sue, Reed, Johnny, hi, and Ben. Okay. As they race to watch the ESPN playoff broadcast of the National Basketball Association. Will the Fantastic Four make it to the Baxter Building in time for tip-off? Will family dinner get cold? Keep watching the Western Conference Finals to find out.
Welcome back to Western Conference Finals. It's presented by AT&T. Game 1 and a 4-point lead for the T-Wolves as we're about to start the 4th. Defense, the headliner in the first 2 quarters. That's part of our first half stats brought to you by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN.
Once Minnesota stopped fouling Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their defense on him was special. And it's usually a team effort. In that instance, Noah does a great job individually.
No, he does a great job, but it's not, can you do it for a quarter? Can you do it for a half? Can you put together a full 48 minutes against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? And that's going to be the challenge, limiting your turnovers and making sure you make it difficult on him.
This is the shot chart, and obviously the three-point shot for Shai has been a struggle for much of the playoffs. He was 3 for 4 in Game 7, but every one of these shots that you're seeing, almost all of them, Mike, were contested.
And what makes SGA such a great player, how efficient he normally is, so he clearly wasn't. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, Julius Randle is just playing spectacular basketball.
No, he's played a spectacular first half, and what makes it even more impressive, there was a 5 or 6 minute stretch where Anthony Edwards was in the back. Not only did he carry his team, he increased the lead while Anthony Edwards is out. Those were huge minutes by Julius Randle.
You know, this Timberwolves team, they're playoff tested. This is their 6th series in the last 2 years. I said earlier they've won 6. They've obviously won 4. But this is their 6th series that they've played in 2 years. They've been in a lot of battles. Meanwhile, Jalen Williams pulls up. McDaniel's really denying SGA.
But that's the first trigger you pull there, right? They're pressuring SGA, so you're going to let Jalen Williams run your offense and get Shai off the ball.
Edwards pulls up, line drive, in and out. Gobert had it, lost it, but he was fouled. As we send it to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Mike, well, Mark Daigneault said he thought that his team was just a little bit out of rhythm offensively. He said defensively he thought they were pretty decent. He said we gave up 48 points when Julius Randle was shooting like that, so he felt like they did pretty well. He said our defense kept us in it. We were only down by 4 at the end of the half. That's the good news. He said offensively, we've just got to be a little earlier with our passing. Our spacing has to be a little better. He said, but the style of this team versus the style of Denver, a lot different. He said, we're just figuring it out, but we've got to figure it out quickly.
Hartenstein wants a flagrant as Edwards just falls on Gilgeous-Alexander. That's 3 fouls on Edwards. Now let's go to the locker room and hear some sound.
Hey, down by 4 after all that, like a bad offensive half, right? Controllable things we can take care of. Active spacing needs to be better, like run out ahead of the ball, get into windows or cut, right? Early passing needs to be better, right? But like we got to play with more force, and then we need energy plays on this end of the floor, right? Like the other end, somebody give us some juice right now. We're down by 4. It's like 2 possessions, but we got to come out 5.
Well, that's the way you look at it, considering how much they struggled offensively to be only down 4.
Yeah, Shai and Jalen Williams, a combined 4 for 21, and it's only a 4-point game coming out at half.
Williams, that's a wide open look. Haven't had a lot of those. Knocks that down.
He's an all-star for the first time. And when they're sending that much defensive attention in the direction of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this young man has got to answer the call.
He really was the catalyst in the second quarter of Game 7 after a slow start by OKC against Denver. Mike Conley misses, Holmgren the rebound.
And I love this. Let Jalen bring it up, take some pressure off Shai, let him work off the ball.
Williams jump shot, can't get that to go. Minnesota, by the way, they've taken 46 shots. 31 of them are threes.
Oh, they have, and they're aggressive with the three-point. They made a lot of three-pointers, but there is still a lot of meat on that bone.
Gilgeous-Alexander with a steal as Gobert turns it over. SGA trying to find his spot. Instead finds Holmgren. Easy bucket for Chet Holmgren.
But that's what I'm talking about, DB. With Chet Holmgren, he just has to slow down a little bit. He's so tall, he's so gifted. The OKC crowd is feeling it.
Conley using the offhand, the lefty. Drops him in with the right.
Why is he rushed, in your opinion, Rich?
Well, it's just, you're a young player. You're trying to get to your spots. You know, again, he's got all the skills. Looked like he fell down there pretty hard right there, but that's what happens when you're a young player sometimes in these moments. You want to do well. You're trying to rush. You're trying to find those moments.
Holmgren a little shaken up. McDaniel's his 3rd foul.
And here, look, you catch it there. Take your time. You ain't got to rush. You got to go quick. Get that space. Go up with the right-hand hook. No one will block that right-hand hook.
And this, to me, changes the game for him. He showed this early this season before he went down with the injury. The off-the-bounce game and the passing is going to change what he can do as a dynamic offensive player.
Sometimes his impact goes under the radar when you have a Gilgeous-Alexander, where you have the emergence of Jalen Williams. And here in the playoffs, he's their leading rebounder and shot blocker. He's their third leading scorer, averaging just under 16 points, just under 10 boards. He's one of the best shot blockers throughout the playoffs of anybody. And then Miles Turner at the top knocks down both.
And who is going to show up for that Minnesota bench? 2 for 19 when you look at Nasri, DiVincenzo, and Walker.
Conley kicks it out. McDaniels pulls up, jump shot. That's good. McDaniels making it difficult for Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets inside, pulls back, he stumbled a bit. Counted and one. SGA with a bit of a limp when he comes up, but a chance for a three-point play.
So we talked about the 19 minutes where he wasn't at the free throw line, but this guy is one of the best in the game at just this. His footwork, 6'6". I wouldn't call him blazingly fast. So his footwork, that hard plant to the step back separation, is what gets him a great look, and on the close, the contact happens.
Any chance of MVP? That announcement's going to come soon. Of course, between Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic, it would be Gilgeous-Alexander's first MVP award. And if that's the case, completes the three-point play. And for the Thunder, this is actually their largest lead of the game. Minnesota led by as many as 9. Randall, Dort picks him up on the switch. Conley. Foul. Gilgeous-Alexander picks up his first. So Conley's going to go to the line, the 37-year-old in his 18th year in the NBA.
And I feel like Conley has had a couple of opportunities. He's missed some bunnies in the lane. I like to see him aggressive. If you're just watching Ant Edwards and Julius Randle work, that's going to be an issue.
His 104th playoff game tonight, which is his third conference final. As we look at the upcoming conference final schedule, TNT Wednesday. In the East, the Knicks will host the Pacers game 1, 8 Eastern time. And then back here for game 2 Thursday on ESPN, 8:30, or shortly thereafter the tip-off. Conley played in the conference final, obviously, last year with Minnesota, back in 2013 with the Memphis Grizzlies. He's been an all-star. He's been NBA all-defense, as respected in locker rooms and around the league as anybody in the league over the past 20 years. And again, they talk about it. Win one for Mike.
Yeah, Mike Conley. You know, that first conference finals, he beat my 61-win Spurs team. It was a 1-versus-8 when he was in Memphis.
Hartenstein's got that floater going well. Isaiah Hartenstein with 12 points. OKC back up by 2. Shot clock at 8. Edwards finds some room, nails the three-pointer. His third 3. He's got 16.
Late screen by Rudy, who does a good job taking the right angle to get his teammate open.
Gilgeous-Alexander wide open, can't get it to fall. Edwards, I guess that ankle's looking pretty good. He's still hopping up and down. Makes his move, pulls back. Jalen Williams now chasing him. Gets into the paint. Conley, catch, fire, connects. And a quick timeout from Mark Daigneault as Minnesota back up by 4 here early third quarter in game 1.
Right now, Dell AI can help discover all the little things that add up to big wins and drive game-changing results for businesses in real time. Visit Dell.com/win to power your performance.
Let's take a look Who's enjoying the limelight? Brought to you by Corona Extra.
Sounds like you might need a Corona. Late clock situation, so Rudy Gobert sets an outstanding screen for Julius, and then the ability to get through traffic. Richard Jefferson, come on now, how hard is the pass Anthony made in that situation?
But it's like watching him probe right to left of the floor. Let me get back to the middle, throw my arms out to draw a foul, but I love that Conley gets his feet there, gets his feet set, and has that quick release.
Alexander Walker's come in for Minnesota. Williams, Isaiah Joe, Hartenstein. Williams on a pull-up, jump shot is good. He's got double figures now. Conley having a strong third quarter. Dort on Edwards. Conley finds some room, plays catch with Gobert. 5 on the 24. Randall gonna have to put it up. Backs in, gets inside, kicks it out. Conley just gets it off in time and can't get it to fall. Gobert keeps it alive, but Dort knocks it out of his hands. Randall, Conley again. That misses. Jalen Williams comes flying in for the rebound.
Minnesota continues to get good looks from three. It's been a consistent theme all game.
Dort moving screen. And that's 4 on Dort. DiVincenzo will check in. Conley's going to get a rest. DiVincenzo was a playoff hero last year for the Knicks. Hit some really big shots. Has not shot the ball well, but he just brings energy and uptick when he comes on the floor.
Yeah, and we talk about the adjustment for Julius Randle, but you think about the season that Dante DiVincenzo had last year. Even him getting acclimated. He is one of the best, like, off the bench two-way guards that plays defense, can shoot the ball. The more relaxed he feels, the better he's going to play.
Nice pass with Gobert, who points to DiVincenzo, says thanks as he goes to the free throw line.
DiVincenzo, a guy who had 253s a year ago. I mean, he was absolutely brilliant. And the big thing for him on this roster in particular, he had an early connection with Gobert. You saw it right there in that pick and roll action.
Those number of things, that was 3rd in the NBA last year. Meanwhile, Hartenstein has picked up his 4th personal.
There were a couple plays in the first half where I thought Dante put Rudy in tough situations. You have to know where Rudy can make the catch. It's very tight windows. So operating in screen and roll, he's going to cut down the middle. Listen, a soft catch for a big man off a bounce pass with only maybe 1 dribble, because you don't want Rudy with 2.
Now, big men, 2 dribbles or less for big men. I had 3 dribbles. That was my game, but he's got 2 dribbles.
Meanwhile, he's facing the Thundersticks. When you were at the free throw line, did anything ever just completely knock you off with your concentration?
No. People have to understand, when you've played in these moments, the Thundersticks are fun. It adds to the environment, but most of these guys have been playing high-level games their whole life.
Good defense there from Edwards. Isaiah Joe has to give it up. Shot clock is at 8. Williams one-on-one with Randall. Gets past him. The floater's up and good. Tough shot from Jalen Williams. We're tied again. Williams has 7 points here in the third quarter. 13 for the game.
One-on-one in the middle of the floor, saying, I'm going to beat Julius Randle.
DiVincenzo from way downtown. Tough rebound, Kenrick Williams. The two cousins battling right there. SGA wins out. Timeout, Minnesota. Thunder up 2.
St. Gilgeous-Alexander starting to get going. And what better way to get going than against your cousin?
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, where cousins Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nickeil Alexander are facing each other in these Western Conference Finals. Shai and Nickeil grew up together in Ontario, Canada, are very close. They played high school ball together at a prep school in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Shai went on to play college ball at Kentucky, Nickeil at Virginia Tech. SGA was drafted 11th overall in 2018. NAW was the 17th overall pick a year later. Mike?
Nickeil is 26. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 26. There's Randall. Pulls up, jump shot. Can't get it to go. Isaiah Joe the rebound. Isaiah Joe playing some important minutes there in game one. Edwards guarding SGA. Williams screen. Gilgeous-Alexander left-handed. Does not go down. Gets his own rebound. Back up and in.
This is that burst ability from OKC. They know it. Their crowd knows it. How is Minnesota going to answer this call after this 8-0 run?
4-point OKC lead. Again, that's their largest of the game. There has not been a double-figure lead in this one. Naz Reid spins right into a turnover. Jalen Williams, the drive, kicks it out in the corner. Williams, the drive, up and under, banks it home. Gorgeous move, and 10 straight points by the Thunder. Timeout, Minnesota.
You've decided to play small. You have dialed up your defensive pressure. Jalen Williams is handling it more here in the second half. It eases Shai having to make every single play. Terrific third by Jalen, and then how tough is this quick second jump by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Nice soft touch. Come on now.
Strong third quarter by the Thunder. Right now a 6-point lead. Crowd back into it. They were a little anxious and a little quiet for this crowd, as Minnesota's played an excellent game one. But right now, they've watched the Thunder score 10 straight. 5 on the shot clock. Randall drives, kicks it out. Naz Reid, corner three. Can't get it to fall. Rebound snatched by Jalen Williams. DiVincenzo now picks up SGA. Off the bounce. And got a little over aggressive defensively. That's going to be his second.
Kenrich Williams played 2 games in the last series, but he comes out here and he has been given the assignment to guard Julius. Big, strong, down in a wide base defensive stance. The best thing you can do is try to take away that left hand, make him a passer. He's had a couple of defensive plays that have been big time.
SGA again posting up his cousin, swatted by Naz Reid. Terrific defensive play. Kenrich Williams guarding Edwards off the bounce. Little push off, pulls up, jumper, won't go. Another rebound for Jalen Williams. Got 7 of those. Looking to push the pace. Isaiah Joe for 3. And Alexander Walker outlets to Edwards. Edwards dancing, prancing, gets to the rim, layup's good.
When you need a bucket, you go to Anthony Edwards. It doesn't matter if it's transition or in a pick and roll. And I don't know if that's a foul. I think he lost his balance. We're going to have to check that out on replay.
T-Wolves not happy with the call.
Oh, no, he just tripped. That's the right call. They're reviewing that one.
Yep, they're going to challenge it.
And I love this. It's the seal by Rudy Gobert. You see that seal doesn't allow Shai to get there, gives Ant that path.
Well, here's the play that's being challenged. Alexander Walker, you see him kind of grabbing the left arm there of Gilgeous-Alexander, and then the trip up. He didn't fall by any trip on feet, but
I thought it was an illegal screen, first of all, by Isaiah Joe. I thought his feet were too wide relative to his spacing, but you're right. I mean, that if you're not going to call the illegal screen offensively, you're going to get that foul call on Nickeil.
Well, I see the arm is up there high, but it's that when he goes to the right to make that move, he goes to the right for the in and out. When he brings it back, that's when he loses his balance. There was no contact after that move, but we'll see what they call.
Here's Jimmy Capers.
Upon review, there is no illegal contact by the defender. So therefore, there is not a defensive foul. We have a successful challenge. The imminent possession was Alexander, so Oklahoma City will get the ball side out with 16 on the shot clock. The timeout is given back to Minnesota.
Well, and you see right there, it's that in and out. Once he goes to that in and out, there's no touch. So when he brings it back, that's when he starts to lose his feet, and there was no contact once he started that move.
So they still get another challenge. OKC had a challenge in the first half. It was unsuccessful, so they're done. And there you see the two cousins battling here in the Western Conference Final.
Family barbecue is going to be a little different this summer, isn't it, Mike? Somebody's going home.
They might have to postpone it to like July to let some of the bad feelings go away before. Williams to Wallace. Kicks it out. Caruso. Holmgren. Kenrich Williams pulls up. Jump shot. Gets it to go. Kenrich Williams with some very good minutes off the bench. It's like in the Denver series, Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, gave them some good minutes. The versatility of the roster. Edwards kicks it out. Alexander Walker takes his time, can't get to the fall. His cousin gets the rebound.
Boy, that bench continues to struggle with their shooting.
Kenrich Williams three, got it! Big three-pointer, and the Thunder with their largest lead of the game.
If your coach has confidence in you, you will repay that confidence.
That's his first three of the playoffs. Naz Reid drives, shot won't go, out of bounds, Gobert. He had taken 8 3-pointers so far in the playoffs, was 0 for 8.
I mean, he wasn't a part of the last series. And you come in the second half, you've been given a big defensive assignment. You got that mid-range jumper to go, and then all of a sudden that basket looks a little bigger.
Now, normally he's a good three-point shooter, 39% regular season. His SGA knocks it down. And the first double-digit lead of the game, a 17-2 run. Edwards fires away. Rebound, Holmgren. These are the type of runs the Thunder have been going on all season long. And an offensive foul called on Kenrich Williams. He's clearly not pleased with the whistle. A reminder, Thursday night on ESPN, we'll have Game 2 right back here in Oklahoma City. Our coverage gets underway, NBA Countdown 7:30. Tip-off shortly after 8:30. Will the Thunder have a 1-0 lead? Or can the Timberwolves come back and get another road win in these playoffs? Still so much time remaining as we wind down the third quarter. Naz Reid, DiVincenzo, quick catch and shoot, hits the three, a big three-pointer from Minnesota. Second three for DiVincenzo. Now, shot's good and one. Tucked the hit, banked it home, and a chance for a three-point play.
Just taking him off the ball for a few plays to start the quarter. He's not having to make every play. Jalen Williams got them off to a great third. Now all of a sudden Shea got his rhythm back. He's feeling good again. He's getting to the spots he's so capable of getting. And as soon as he feels the contact, folks, this guy takes 9 free throws per game in the regular season. He's one of the best here in the playoffs. That is his game in a nutshell.
And that's Edwards' 4th foul. And he scored half his points here in the third period after that rough shooting first half. Oklahoma City had 44 points total in the first half. They've got 32 here in the third. And it's an 11-point lead. Edwards takes a seat. And Kenrich Williams, just wrong place, wrong time. DiVincenzo draws the foul.
Dante uses the cross, then he's coming back behind the back, so he's getting him turned twice.
A minute remaining here in the third. The Thunder have turned it around. They trailed by 9 in the first half. Clark back in. He got some minutes in the first half for his defense. Alexander Walker. Reid. Can't get to the fall. Rebound, SGA. Reid's 0 for 7. Wallace gets bumped, goes inside, lost it, gets it back, looking to find somebody, and a held ball with 9 left on the shot clock for the Thunder. So a big turnaround. Again, the Thunder did not play all that well in the first half and were only down 4. They have found their rhythm here in this third period. Isaiah Joe comes in.
And with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, when you're guarding against an elite scorer, you want to keep him to a point per shot. Right now, he's got 21 shots, 23 points. That's how you know you're doing a solid job versus an elite scorer.
Gobert gets it. DiVincenzo wins the tip. There's about a 3.5-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. DiVincenzo on the drive, kicks it out in the corner. Clark makes his move, and he is fouled. So free throws for Clark with 7.4 remaining. Again, Clark hardly playing in these playoffs. Prior to tonight, just 6 minutes. He's taken 2 free throws in these playoffs. They hit them both. Now with a chance to cut into the lead during the regular season, 78% from the free throw line. Rushed that one.
Yeah. that almost took out Jerry West on the left side.
The sticker of a logo on the backboard. Comes right back and knocks it down. No fouls to give here. Wallace, Jalen Williams, three-pointer off the mark. And 1/10 of a second remaining. That will end the third quarter. The Thunder come alive after trailing much of the first half. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jay Williams both come through here in this third quarter. We head to the fourth here in game 1. OKC with a 10-point lead.
Welcome back to the Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T. Jalen, coach said the defense kept you guys in it in that first half while the offense was getting figured out. Just what were you guys able to figure out offensively in that third quarter?
Just basketball is highs and lows. So just kind of sticking with it, but one thing we can't do is let our defense drop.
How about for you specifically, 9 points in that third quarter? What was working for you?
Just playing aggressive, trying to play physical, trying to make plays, not forcing anything. Again, I think our defense is fueling a lot of that too.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Mike?
Thank you, Lisa. He was superb in game 7 on Sunday afternoon. Jump shot there won't go. Rebound, Naz Reid. Randall has not scored in the second half. Had 20 points in the first half. He was unstoppable. Isaiah Joe trying to guard him here. The spin move, kicks it out. He's triple team McDaniels, and they can't get the 3 to go now. Naz Reid the rebound. Shot clock at 5. Layup blocked by Holmgren. Reid catches it. DiVincenzo at 3. Puts it in. Wow, what a turnaround on that sequence.
He's made 2 threes that feel so massive for Minnesota.
44 of their 66 shots from three-point range. DiVincenzo took a shot. Cason Wallace, Holmgren. He lines up a 3 and answers right back. First three-pointer of the game for Holmgren. 9 total points and the lead back to 10. McDaniels goes at Holmgren. Well defended. Batted out of bounds. Still Minnesota ball. 13 to shoot.
Dante DiVincenzo took a pretty good shot to the face. Had his hand all the way up on the way up the floor, like and still squinting. He took a shot
from his own teammate. And right now a whistle. DiVincenzo bleeding, so they'll attend to the bleeding.
And we have to talk about this Minnesota bench. One of the best benches in the league. Again, the 6th man of the year last year. You got defense. Naz Reid is so impressive, but it's 0 for 8 for Naz Reid, 3 for 11 for DiVincenzo, and 1 for 9 for Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Well, Chris Finch basically just plays 3 guys off. That's all he's really done throughout these playoffs. And all 3 of them not only can give you scoring punch, but all 3 good defenders. But the shots just haven't fallen.
And what OKC does very well, or typically has all year, is take great scorers and limit both their volume and attempts and try to say, okay, well, we're going to pick others to go ahead and beat us.
So DiVincenzo stays in the game, has a little conversation with the OKC fans along the baseline. Whatever they said, it made them laugh. 14 on the shot clock. Randall guarded by Caruso. Pulls up. Jumper is good. First bucket here in the second half for Randall. Do you think Alex Caruso likes guarding these big guys?
I think he likes the challenge, but I don't think he likes the way he feels in the corner.
Williams up top to Caruso. Sets, fires, and rattles in a 3. He likes that. His second field goal, and a lead back to 11. McDaniels hesitated. DiVincenzo drives, reverse block by Holmgren. Saved by Wallace. Ball out of bounds. And it's going to be, nope, they're going to call a foul.
His ability to close. He is dealing with a very quick guard. He stays with him along the baseline. He's just hovering like a pterodactyl, looking to get that wingspan involved.
DiVincenzo, his 3rd foul. Holmgren. Trying to drive on McDaniels, double team. McDaniels, excellent defense. Here comes Randall. Randall lost the handle. Williams gets inside, kicks it out. Wallace, corner 3. And Julius Randle grabs his 5th rebound. Ball knocked out of bounds. Still Minnesota ball.
How much longer is Anthony Edwards going to be on this side? Because 9 minutes left. The lead is at 11. This lead could go to 15 or 16, and that's going to make his job that much harder.
Right now on the bench with 4 fouls. Nearly stolen by Williams. Reed then just walks right into the lane, lays it up. Jalen Williams has 5 steals. That was very close to being number 6. And that's Reed's first field goal of the game. Wiggins deflected by DiVincenzo. Wallace right there to Holmgren. Holmgren with the flush. Reed inside, blocked by Holmgren, but a foul. And now Edwards getting off the bench. He's going to come in. Free throws for Naz Reid.
Watch the right side of your screen. And Chet Holmgren just going, he's pointing up to Mr. Wallace like, throw this thing up, big fella. Instead, he takes the bounce pass, still able to finish.
Doris, I would tell everybody, I can't throw lobs. It's going to be a bounce pass, so just get ready for it. So that's the right decision if you're Wallace.
Reed just 2 points in 24 minutes. Hits the first. Well, you can earn badges to win prizes with the NBA ID Playoffs Challenge. Members in the U.S. and Canada who complete the challenge get the chance at a trip to the NBA Draft. Play now in the NBA app or on NBA.com/ID. Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort, Wiggins, Caruso, and Holmgren right now out for Minnesota. And Edwards returns for OKC, that is, and Edwards returns from Minnesota.
Just fresh body after fresh body if you're Oklahoma City. Cason Wallace, you were talking about him flying around defensively. Now you bring Lou Dort back instead of Cason Wallace.
It's just a terrific roster put together by Sam Presti. Mark Daigneault able to manage guys who go stretches where they play a lot, other stretches they don't, but they're always ready. Feet inside, Holmgren with a force. Big buckets for Chet Holmgren here in the 4th. Back up to 11. DiVincenzo 3-pointer. Off the mark. He's just 3 of 11 from downtown. Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Edwards, 18 points for Edwards. Caruso doing his usual pest on defense. DiVincenzo sets a screen. Edwards picks up his dribble. Back to DiVincenzo. Edwards fires away, three-pointer. Back of the rim. Holmgren, the rebound, knocked out of his hands by Randall, and saves it to DiVincenzo. Back to Reed. Reed off the bounce, finds Randall. Randall inside, blocked but fouled. Good second and third effort from the Timberwolves, results in free throws.
And this is what we talk about when I say Chet just needs to slow down. He does a good job, sets a good screen, rolls, finds it. Now look, take your time. You see him? No one can get to you when you're just patient. And he gets an and one, a little 360 dunk and one.
Randall gets the free throw to go. Alexander Walker will come in. Naz Reid back to the bench. Julius Randle now 23 points. He's tied for the game lead along with Gilgeous Alexander, who has 23. Nine-point lead for OKC. Gilgeous Alexander once again goes at his cousin, well defended. Shot in and out, won't go. Holmgren right there. Hanging around the rim and getting bucket after bucket. 9 in the fourth quarter. Randall drives on Dort. Backs in. Tries to split the defense and lost the ball. Foul, bucket, count it, and one. From Shea Sizzle here in the fourth. The lead is 13.
Playing off misses, their defensive pressure, just trying to get you into tempo. I don't know how he completes this play, folks. Takes some contact early. He's on his knees, and he is somehow going to get his shoulders square. There's the bump that makes him lose balance. Falling down to the top of that left side gives it a chance. That's ridiculous.
Okay, some of it's he's losing his balance. Some of it is him knowing how to draw fouls at a high level. That's where he has mastered that aspect of the game. The minute he feels contact, he just puts it up, and Finch wants to talk about it.
26 points, 8 assists, largest lead of the night for OKC.
The NBA Western Conference Finals are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And in part by Nobody 2, only in theaters August 15th. And Google, proud sponsor of the NBA.
Now time to take a look at what fans are searching for, presented to you by Google. NBA MVP 24-25, a breakout search in the U.S. And very likely will be the NBA MVP. What a spectacular season he's had, leading this Thunder team to an historic regular season. Right now, a 14-point lead, just under 7 to play in game 1 of the conference finals. Strong move from Randall, missed it, but right back up and in. He's the definition of a bruising power forward.
Oh, he's an absolute bull. He's one of those guys, when you guard him, you're afraid that you're going to get hurt.
Jalen Williams guarded by Edwards. Good help defense from Randall. Shot clock at 5. SGA trying to get away from him. Can't do it. Spins, gets inside. Wild shot. Holmgren, the rebound in traffic. And then a 24-second violation's been called. That's some good defense from Julius Randle.
But look at how he showed his hands. That's the difference. Watch this. Once he starts to make his drive, yes, but now he's in that difficult spot. Watch both hands go up. Both hands go up. Do not reach in on Shea. You will pay every time.
The ball pressure from the outset. I mean, it took him till below 10 seconds to get anywhere near the free throw line and down.
Edwards up top, DiVincenzo. Good ball movement. Alexander Walker using the left hand, banks it home. Pretty move. And it's back to 10. Just past the midway point here in the fourth. SGA the drive and the finish. 28 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Alexander Walker kicks it out. DiVincenzo fakes the pass. Can't hit the three. He's had great looks.
Mike, I think they're 4 for 19 in the second half from three. They were 10 for 28 in the first.
McDaniels trying to stay with SGA. And commits the foul. And that's it. McDaniels going to foul out. Well, number 6, he is fouled out for the second time in these playoffs. The spectacular defender. That's 6 personals.
Yeah, look at the handle. Multiple moves just trying to get him off balance. And once he's off balance, right to the shooting motion. Handle is so tight and so comfortable against pressure.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wearing a mic for us here tonight.
Hey, buddy. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, you can roll. Now you take the slow. Now you take your guy with you, and now I can drop the elbow on a weak defender. You said Shai?
Those kisses for his son were at halftime, and they clearly motivated him. He has turned it around after a rough first half. Edwards guarded by Dort. Alexander Walker hits a three. That's his second three-pointer.
Still a very gettable game.
A 10-point lead with 5 to go. Plenty of time for Minnesota. Gilgeous-Alexander jumper.
And that's why you have to pressure him. Yes, you don't want to give up a drive, and you want him to shoot threes, but he eats up that space, and that step back is lethal.
It'll go the other way.
Again, watch, Julius Randle's giving him a little space, giving him a little space to absorb the drive, but he eats up that space and then steps back. There's no contest, and that's automatic.
4.5 remaining. Thunder up a dozen. Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, corner three, high arcing three, goes down. Timeout, Minnesota, largest lead of the night.
Well, the crowd is loving this second half. They had a very tough first half offensively, Shai in particular. But as soon as that extra defender commits or is in the vicinity, the ball movement is on point. And Lou Dort, little rain coming down in OKC. We're accustomed to that.
Here in Oklahoma City Sports Center. Then we'll have full post-game coverage from Game 1. More SGA Wired.
Hey, 2 more minutes. Yo, 2 more minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, come on. 2 minutes, y'all.
They shot 37% in the first half. They've shot 61% in the second half. And another 31-point game. 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Randle spins against Dort, leads in. Beautiful move from Julius Randle. 28 points for Randle.
All right, you got 4 minutes to go, 13-point game. If you're Minnesota, you got to get some stops, and you got to start hitting this three. They're 15 for 48 from three, but if there's a time to get hot, it's right now.
Mason Wallace has it. On the drive, goes inside, throws it up, and Jalen Williams with the flush.
They're just playing in space. That's too much space.
Randle kicks it back out. Alexander Walker, Naz Reid, the quick launch, can't get it. And a loose ball foul will go against OKC.
Look at how spaced out Oklahoma City is. So now 1 man to beat off the drive. You fall asleep on the backside. And Mike was talking about the lob threats, Chet and Isaiah. Here's another one. Mr. Williams told us before the game, I know I'm nice.
Yes, he did.
5 fouls on Dort. 3.5 remaining. Edwards to Naz Reid. Throws it out of bounds. The swarming defense forced the 18th turnover by Minnesota. Williams guarded by Alexander Walker. Edwards guarding SGA. Drives inside, pulls up. Back up top to Caruso. Caruso, three-pointer. Bang! 18-point lead with 3 minutes to play. Stolen by Dort. Saves it to Williams. This crowd in a frenzy right now. SGA on the drive. Finds Caruso. Swatted out of bounds by DiVincenzo.
You bring in Caruso this offseason. What does he do? He guards Jokic all series. He guards Julius Randle all series and knocks down big threes for you.
They've only taken 19 threes, but they've hit 9 of them. Williams' jumper won't go. Rebound Edwards with 2.5 remaining. Edwards has not scored here in the fourth quarter. He's only taken 1 shot. Caruso fighting over screens. Sticks with Edwards. Step back to Reid. Reid tries another three-pointer. That one off the mark. Jalen Williams with his 8th rebound. Meanwhile, Minnesota's taken 53s and have only hit 15. Williams on the drive, left-handed. He was fouled. Naz Reid, good sportsmanship, making sure he was okay, but he'll head right to the line.
Let's watch the pressure Alex Caruso is going to put on Anthony Edwards. Mike, you're talking about how little he's been able to get things going here. Well, this is why. Do not allow yourself to be screened. When the screen comes, you take a step toward that guy. But the ability to stay in front on a guy with the handle and explosion of Anthony Edwards, come on, RJ. This defense is just absolutely as good as it can be done, folks.
On ESPN, game 2 of this series, right back here in OKC. Coverage gets underway. NBA countdown, 7:30 Eastern. Tip-off shortly after 8:40. Right now, an 18-point lead with 2 minutes remaining in a game where OKC trailed by 4 at halftime, exploded in that third quarter, and now just adding to it here in the fourth. Williams, another just wonderful all-around game. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals.
What I liked about him when we talked to him in the meeting, I said, hey, that between game 6 and game 7 where you struggled, as they're about to make an adjustment, between game 6 and game 7 where you struggled, what did you learn about yourself? He was like, nothing. It just confirmed what I did know. It confirmed that if you trust the process, you trust the work, the game will show up. And that's what he did in game 7 and so far here in game 1.
And Chris Finch has emptied his bench. Clark, Shannon, Dillingham, Minot, and Garza all in the game. And Williams commits the foul to get out. Jane is going to come in. And a huge ovation for Jalen Williams. That's back-to-back high-impact games. Game 7, spectacular performance. Just one of those all-around performances, and the numbers never show the true impact that he has with this team. Shannon gets the jumper to go.
Mike, I know you said the numbers don't show his impact, but 19, 8, and 5.
Those are pretty good.
Those are pretty good numbers. Those are pretty good numbers there, Mike.
Good point, Richard.
That's pretty good impact.
Yep. Well, the fans were able to stand much here in this fourth quarter. They were a little nervous in the first half as Shannon commits the foul. Isaiah Joe gets knocked down. This will only be the 3rd loss of these playoffs for Minnesota. They beat the Lakers in 5 games, then beat the Warriors in 5 games. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City had that sweep in the first round against Memphis and a hard-fought series, even though with the blowout in Game 7 against Denver. That was a tough series, and they all talked about, and Mark Daigneault said they may have needed that. It showed them that they could win the tough games in the playoffs. Hadn't faced a lot of adversity during a 68-win regular season.
But you go down 0-1 with home court advantage. You go down 2-1 with another road game in front of you. You're one of the youngest teams in the league. You got to respond to all of that, and they were more than capable.
Dillingham, move won't go. Isaiah Joe with the rebound. Joe playing 12 minutes, getting some good minutes. Mitchell to Jones. Jones knocks down the three. 10 of 20 from three-point range. Only 20 attempts, but 50%. And just opening things up here in the fourth quarter. Johnny can't connect. Rebound Joe. This is one difficult place to win if you're the road team. 35-6 during the regular season. 5-1 in the playoffs. The one loss Doris just mentioned, Game 1 against Denver. Kenrich Williams didn't play huge minutes, 10, but boy, he had a huge impact. Score in the second half, 70-40. And that's what they do, and that's what they've done all season long. You think you're in the game, and then all of a sudden, it's blowout city.
The thing I like is that they lost the first quarter in Game 7, lost the first quarter tonight, but the way they finish games, it's what sets them apart.
Well, Minnesota knows that it's only one game. We'll see how they bounce back for tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder, their first conference finals game since 2016, wins handily as Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves will regroup and get ready for Thursday night. Another dominant win from the Thunder. So impressive in the second half. Big time shot making. And as we said the other afternoon in Game 7, a defensive clinic. Only 88 points for Minnesota. And is the case night after night with this team. So many different players contributed.
They have such great individual defenders. 4 of the top 5 guys in effective field goal percentage against is their team. I mean, think about that. Elite, both scheme-wise and overall.
All right now let's go to Lisa with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a number of his friends.
Shai, what was different offensively for you guys in the second half?
Honestly, I felt like we were a bit rusty, which we shouldn't be. We were missing layups, free throws. We just needed to keep being aggressive, trust our work. We got downhill. The layups starting to fall. We started making shots. We started getting stops defensively. And we were out and running and playing our basketball.
How much of this game Game 1 was just about figuring things out?
Yeah, Game 1 is like you said, a feel-out game. Game 2, they're going to have adjustments. We're going to have adjustments. We're going to feel that out. It's a series, you know. It's best of 7, not first to 1, and we know that. So good start. We want to win every game we play. It's a good start, but a lot more work to do.
Defensively, you guys were solid throughout. Julius Randle had a big first half, but how were you guys able to limit him in the second half?
Yeah, we had to be aggressive with him. Obviously, he's a very physical player, talented player. Try to make him uncomfortable. That's what you try to do with great players. And we did a good job of it in the second half. If we want to be a really good team, we got to do it all 48 minutes, but we'll take the W.
Anthony Edwards, 0 points in the fourth quarter. Just what were you guys doing defensively against them?
Same thing as Julius. Nothing different. Really good players. You got to make them uncomfortable. You got to try to get in their airspace and try to take away their strengths.
You know this is a game about adjustments. Despite the win, what do you have to do differently better Game 2?
I'm going to keep that a secret and not let the world know so they don't see it. But we know what we got to do.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Another superb performance from perhaps the MVP. He's on one of the youngest teams ever to reach a conference final, but once again they show their poise They take a couple of punches and bounce back with as dominant a second half as you can find in a conference final. 62% shooting as they throw up 70 points on a really good defensive team. So the Thunder take game one. Final score 114-88. Our producers Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, our wonderful ESPN crew. Of course, for Doris, Richard, and Lisa, Mike Breen saying, don't forget, join us Thursday night, game 2, right back here in OKC at 8:30 Eastern. As we say good night from Oklahoma City. Right now, let's get you to Sports Center.
И медленно, пройдя меж пьяными, всегда без спутников одна, дыша духами и туманами, она садится у окна. И веют древними поверьями ее упругие шелка, и шляпа с траурными перьями, и в кольцах узкая рука. И странной близостью закованный смотрю за темную вуаль, и вижу берег очарованный и очарованную даль. Глухие тайны мне поручены, мне чье-то солнце вручено. Идите за мной, покорный, неверная моей рукой. Я на сверкнувшей книге горной залечу уверенно с тобой. Я пронесу тебя над бездной, ее бездонностью дразня. Твой будет ужас бесполезный, лишь вдохновенье для меня. Я от дождя эфирной пыли и от кружения похороню всей силой мышц и сенью крыльев, и вознося не уроню. И на горах сверкание бело, на незапятнанном лугу, божественно прекрасным телом тебя я странно обожгу. Идите за мной.
Oh, heaven knows, men know that I love you so much, Jamila. Ooh, yes I do. You left my world and left me so cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nothing about to make it right. Jamila kiyape mun. Na dawo gida ban ga Jamila ba, na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba. Hey, wayo, a neman mun Jamila. Jamila, don Allah ki dawo gida. Babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa. Gida, 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 gida. Ooh, no matter what people do or say, this love will never die. If I knew I never hurt you so bad, drinking so much, too much women.